Man, part 2 of Overhyped Fragrances Viewers Edition. Now clearly this video got a ton of views and a lot of interaction, as well as Instagram. So I'm gonna try to do a part 2 going back and forth because there's definitely more comments than I could have ever imagined. And it's pretty interesting to see some of the names on this list and what people perceive to be overhyped. Let's roll my music so we can check out part 2 Overhyped Fragrances Viewer Edition. Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy C to the U to the B to the A. Man, over 100 comments on the last video and at least 50 something on Instagram about overhyped fragrances. And it's crazy because I think a lot of people agree with the natural consensus of overhyped doesn't necessarily mean it's bad or good. They just feel that it's either oversaturated, content creators like myself boost it too much. Something in that space, they feel that kind of energy. And we gotta go back to the main thing at the end of the day. Wear whatever the fuck you want, regardless of hype or what any content creator says. Don't trust me. Trust your nose. My nose ain't the same as your nose. And I know this sounds really redundant, repetitive, and kind of rudimentary, like, duh, no shit. A lot of people think that way, like, Cuba said it was good and it smells like shit on me. Well, then you smell like shit. I don't know what to tell you. We not the same, we different. But in going through some of these comments, man, they are crazy. All right, so I'm looking here and I'm gonna just start picking stuff at random because it's insane. Paul Gaultier is overhyped. It's not a male scent, it's for females. Paul Gaultier is not a fragrance that I like at all. It just never worked for me. It's something that really gives me a wild, piercing headache. And I do feel that it's kind of overhyped, but it's loved by a ton of people. Some people also have this as a signature scent and they will go through every variation and every flanker ever with this dude's torso and bulging balls just to say that they smell spectacular. This is on a ton of people's list, sexiest, most complimented, legendary, whatever. Everybody feels that this fragrance is lit. Me, going back to my initial comment, I don't feel that way at all. I think the fragrance is just, it's not my cup of tea. It doesn't smell good on me. It gives me a wild ass headache. I think that shit is overhyped like crazy, but do people love it? They absolutely love it. But for me, overhyped. Next one. Another comment was Bleu de Chanel is overhyped. Yeah, it is overhyped as well. I like the parfum version personally if I'm gonna pick any of them. But yes, it is an overly hyped fragrance. It is a great scent profile as well. Again, I think it's when you're in a major metropolitan area or in an area with a ridiculous amount of people like New York, LA, Miami, particularly city like New York where everybody's on top of everybody else, it's a scent profile that's very easily recognizable. Even if it smells differently on other people, you'll recognize that scent profile easily, especially in the nightlife scene. That's when LA and Miami come into play. So yes, it's an overly saturated fragrance. It's a scent profile that sells like crazy. It is duplicated by a few people, but yeah, I do think it's a little oversaturated at this time and overhyped. Next one. A lot of repetitive comments with Aventus. It keeps going. Some guy said Cubaknow is overhyped. I agree. What a piece of shit. Hey, I hope you shit on yourself today, buddy.
Hey, this is shit. It's shit! Get it off me, Frost! Get it off!
Now, this was a comment that I've seen a couple of times. Every Roja fragrance, they categorized every single one as an overhyped brand in general. I don't feel that way. I mean, overpriced? We could say that about any fragrance, no? Death to retail. Fragrance don't cost that much to make. Bottles and presentations are a little bit more expensive when you start getting intricate, but all fragrances really aren't that expensive. You're paying for brand recognition. The more naturals they put into the fragrance obviously boost. If they're using things like ambergris and real deal oud and things of that nature, that does increase the price point, but brand status, marketing, etc., that's really what goes behind any brand, not just fragrance. I think Roja makes some beautiful fragrances, and honestly, I don't know how much overhype they have. They have hype with certain fragrances, but to say the whole line is overhyped, that's crazy, because that would have to mean that every fragrance that ever drops from that brand gets super duper hyped, and I don't personally see that, but maybe you're seeing something that I don't. A lot of people shared that same sentiment, so maybe to them, Roja is overhyped. Next one. Another fragrance that came up often on the comment is Blue Atlas by Atlantis, or Atlantis by Blue Atlas. I heard of the name, I've seen the presentation, I've never smelled any of the fragrances. I don't know anything about them as of yet. I am planning on buying a couple of bottles just to see what's up with the fragrances. I have seen them on my Instagram feed quite often. Maybe they're sending it to other content creators, whatever the case may be. So I will be checking them out. I can't say anything on the fragrance. I haven't smelled them personally, but I have seen a lot of Instagram posts with these particular fragrances, whether they're scent or not scent, whether they're actually good or not good, I don't know, but if multiple people are saying it, maybe they are overhyped. Another fragrance that I'm surprised is even on this list and mentioned more than once was Rasasi Hawas. What? Overhyped? It's a cheapie that performs great, beautiful scent profile. This shit has a sillage bubble and a half. How is it overhyped? I feel like it's a better version of Invictus at half the price with better performance. It's like the Dubai version of Invictus. Bunch of haters. And finally, this comment was great. All fragrances are overhyped and it's mainly YouTube influencers' fault. Rely on your own nose. Try the frag for yourself, and if you like it, buy it. Don't buy it just because someone with a camera and a narcissistic personality disorder says so. I like that comment. You absolutely must try it, sample it, make sure that it flows with you. Do not trust a content creator, influencer, or whatever the case may be. I am a fucking narcissist. I am amazing. I am the biggest in the game. But I also appreciate everybody who watches, everybody who comments, everybody who says hi. Yes, I have a personality disorder. My personality disorder is that I'm fucking lit in these streets, I'm sexy as shit, and in my mind, I'm 6'4" with a ripped 8-pack deep V 12-inch hog and size 14 shoe. And what? I mean, there's clearly more overhyped fragrances. Leave it in the comments below. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart, and I'll see y'all stitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the game. Smooches.
What's fresh? Who's best? Wanna know who's gonna pass the test? For the fly gun holder, money folder, Motorola start tag when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.